everybody, here is the two-step equations homework. Okay, number one says 5n plus 4 equals 59. So first step, equal sign, let's draw the line. So we can separate terms on the left side of the equation, such as the 5n, the positive 4, from the term on the right, which is positive 59. So next, we look at what operation we see. We see addition, says plus 4. So we perform the inverse or opposite operation and we subtract 4. Again, the reason for this, we want to isolate or get our variable n all by itself. So whatever we do on one side, we must do to the other side of the equation to keep it balanced. Nothing happened with the 5n yet, so that's okay. Let's just bring it down. So now it says 5n. Positive 4 minus 4 is a zero pair, meaning it's going to give us 0. So don't put 0, just cross that out. Bring down our equal sign. And 59 minus 4 is going to give us 55. So now what operation do we see? Well, we see multiplication. On the left side says 5n, which is the same as 5 times n. So since we're looking at multiplication, we undo it with its opposite, which is division. And we divide by the coefficient, the number in front of our variable, which is 5. So whatever we do on one side of the equation, again, balance, do the same to the other. Divide that by 5 also. 5 divided by itself is 1. Don't put 1, just cancel those out. Bring down our n and our equal sign. And 55 divided by 5 is 11, giving us the answer of choice C. And okay, number 2. This one says 23 equals negative 5 minus 7q. Again, first step, equal sign, draw a line. Next, what the other term in 5. So let's add 5. The left side, 23 plus 5 is going to give us 28. Bring down our equal sign. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. Again, just cross it out. And we haven't used the negative 7q yet. Bring that down. Again, make sure you don't make this mistake and just say 7q. Because, again, I'm just going to do it here in a different color so you see. It says minus 7q. So we treat that as a negative 7q. So make sure you bring down the negative sign. If you don't, your answer is going to be off by a little bit. So now it says 28 equals negative 7q. And what operation do we see now? Again, just like in number 1, we should see multiplication, where it has a number next to a letter. Remember, the number is called the coefficient, since it's multiplying the variable. And also be careful, it's not 7 times q. Again, it's negative 7 times q. So since we're looking at multiplying, I'm going to do the inverse, opposite there, and divide by the coefficient, which is the negative 7 that we see, and balance it by doing the same on the left side. Now on the left, we have a positive divided by a negative, which is going to be a negative. And 28 divided by 7 is 4. So this gives us negative 4. Bring down our equal sign. Negative 7 divided by itself is 1. Again, don't put the 1, just cancel them out and bring down our q, and we're done. So negative 4 equals q. That would be choice C again. Okay, number 3. So 3, we're getting into the distributive property, as we see here with the parentheses, right? So as we took a look at on the practice version of this, on the two-step equations, I showed you 2 different ways. One way which I'll do here, is to distribute. Another way, which I'll just show here for a second, is just instead of multiplying the 30 times the negative, make sure it's negative, negative 3k, and times the positive 2. Again, notice I'm just putting the arrows to the signs so I can see if a number is negative or positive. Again, yes, I see it says plus 2, but we treat that as a positive 2. And the negative 3, again, you might see minus 3. I will distribute for this problem because the numbers will be big, as you'll see here in a second. What you could do instead of multiplying, you could just divide by that number on both sides. And the numbers in your problem will be a lot smaller and you'll still get the same solution. But first we'll just distribute, since I said that's the method we'll choose for this one, as most people tend to multiply. I guess they're just more comfortable, but whichever way works better for you. All right, so let's bring down the 240 and the equal sign. And now we're going to multiply 30. So positive 30 times a negative 3. Positive times a negative is a negative. And 30 times 3 is 90. So this will give us negative 90. And don't forget that k. So negative 90k. But now we have another term in parentheses, which is the positive 2. So 30, positive 30 times positive 2 is still positive. 30 times 2 is 60. So now our equation reads 240 equals negative 90k plus 60. All right, so far we've only done one step, which is multiplying. As I told you before in the practice version of this is actually a multi-step problem, so more than 2 steps, as you'll see here in a second. But just introducing it again, just so you can be aware that, sometimes equations can be a bit long, and you will still understand how to solve them as long as you keep on doing the operation that you see. So with that said, now we have the negative 90k, but the term next to it says positive 60. So let's get rid of that. So instead of adding 60, let's do the opposite there and subtract. Let's do it to both sides. 240 minus 60 is 180. Bring down the equal sign. And we haven't used the negative 90k yet, so I'll bring it down. Again, just be careful you don't just write 90k like that, because I'll just circle it. Remember, the sign goes with the number. So we read this as negative 90k. So bring down that negative. And on the right, 60 minus 60 is 0. Just cross that out. So now we're down to our last step. Remember, our first step up, let me just draw an arrow up there, was distributive property, so we multiplied first. Then our second step here on both sides was to subtract 60, as you can see. And our third and final step for this problem is to now divide, because we're looking at negative 90k, or negative 90 times k. Since we're looking at multiplication, we undo it with division, which is the inverse operation. And again, we balance it, doing the same to both sides. So positive 180 divided by a negative, that would be a negative. And 180 divided by 90 is 2, so this makes it negative 2. Bring down the equal sign. Negative 90 divided by itself is 1, so cancel that. And we have our variable k, isolated alone, bring that down, and there you go. Negative 2 equals k, which is choice B. All right, we have 3 more to go. We're halfway through. So these last 3, we have word problems. So let's, we have to figure out what equation goes here. So 4 says Sabrina bought a slice of pizza for $2.40 and 2 drinks. She paid a total of $4.60. If they both were the same price, how much money did each of the two drinks cost? So it helps to read it once, even better to read it a second time. So Sabrina bought a slice of pizza for $2.40. Okay, let's write that down. $2.40. And, okay, so we remember from the other problem on our practice, just leave a note over here. The word and means to add, so that's where the plus comes from. And two drinks, so two. Well, it doesn't tell us how much the drink is, so you know what to do now. If you don't know in math and you need to represent a number, you use a variable, a letter. So I'll use D for drinks. She paid a total, oh, there's another keyword, total means we need an equal sign. So equals, and she paid a total of $4.60. So this is how we can use parts of information in the question to help set up our equation. So 2.40 plus 2d equals 4.60. All right. Now it's a regular two-step equation. Equal sign, draw the line. We have the variable d, but the other term next to it says $2.40. That's a positive, so we want to subtract to perform inverse operations, and we have to do the same thing to both sides. 240 minus itself is 0, so let's bring down our 2d, our equal sign. And 460 minus 240 is going to be $2.20. So now we're looking at multiplication since it says 2d, 2 times d. So let's do the inverse operation there. Opposite of multiplying is dividing, and we divide by the coefficient. So the number in front of our variable is a 2. And we do the same thing to both sides. There we go. So 2 divided by itself is 1. Don't put 1, just cancel that out. Bring down our letter D for drinks. And 220 divided by 2 is 110. Because 2 divided by 2 is 1. Put your decimal. 20 divided by 2 is 10. That's how you get each drink costs $1.10. Okay, 2 more to go. Number 5 and number 6. Number 5 says a marina charges $175 for materials and $15 per foot to paint the bottom of a boat. It costs $595 to paint a boat. How much does it cost to paint each foot of the boat? So again, take it step by step, piece by piece. First thing, the marina charges $175 for materials. So we write 175. And, oh, there goes our word and again. You know that means plus. $15, okay, let's put that, per foot. But we don't know how many feet, so we need a variable, a letter. Since we're speaking about feet, again, you can use any of the 26 letters of the alphabet. Doesn't matter, but I'll just use F since we're speaking about feet. And it cost, so meaning a total, equals $595. Okay, so same first thing, equal sign, let's draw a line. We want to get F by itself, but there is another term next to it, which is positive $175. So the opposite of positive is negative. So let's subtract 175 to both sides. 175 minus itself is 0. Just cancel that out. Let's bring down our 15F and equals 595 minus 175 is 420. And let's see, as we're going to have to divide. So 420 divided by 15 is 28. Why are we dividing? Because 15F, 15 times F The opposite of multiplying is division. So we divide both sides. Let's bring down the letter F and equals. And we just saw in the calculator 420 divided by 15 is 28. So that means it is, actually, let's be specific. It says how much does it cost? Dollars. So $28 per foot to paint the boat. Last but not least, we have number 6. This one looks a little bit longer, so let me just not squeeze it in. Let me get more space, because this has a few more terms. So we buy, let me just copy the equation here. It says we buy 6 roses for $2.45 each. And then it says 12 carnations for 99 cents each. And it says 9 tulips, so 9x. Then it says the total cost was $40.08. So this equation actually is given to you in the problem. So here, what we have to do, equal sign, draw the line. Notice that's always the first thing we do. Then it says 6 times 245. Remember, when you see parentheses in math, that's telling you need to multiply. So we're going to multiply 6 times 245. Again, feel free to use your calculator. And that gives us $14.70. You can put 14.7 or 14.70, either or. I mean, technically, since it's money, you may want to just stick to dollars and cents. But if you put 14.7, it's still the same thing for right now. Not too worried about it yet. Next, you come to 12 times 99 cents, which is 0.99, which, as you see here, will give us $11.88. We haven't used our 9x, so we're just going to bring that down. So plus 9x, bring down equal sign, bring down the total, $40.88. Okay. So far all we did was multiply. But now I still have a lot of terms here on the left side. Let me just color code it for you. I have 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. What I really want is just for it to say x. But I have to do a little bit of work for that to happen. What I have to do now is something you should be familiar with. Combine like terms. So do I have any other variables with the letter x besides this one? Unfortunately, no, I don't. But I do have constants on the left side. Remember, a constant is just a number with no variables attached. So I see this one, $14.70. And I see this one, $11.88. So let's combine them. In other words, do exactly what it says. It says 14.70 plus 11.88. So we type exactly that in. 14.70 plus 11.88. That's going to give us $26.58. And we're just going to bring down the 9x. We didn't use it yet. Bring down our equal sign and bring down our $40.88. And I still want to get the x by itself, but I do see now positive 26.58. So instead of positive, let's subtract. Make that negative on both sides. On the left side, 26.58 minus itself is 0. Let's cancel that out. Let's bring down our 9x and equals. And on the right side, $40.88 minus 26.58 is going to give us $14.30. And now that we're looking at multiplication, it says 9x, 9 times x. We do the inverse there and divide by the coefficient. The number in front of x is 9, so we divide both sides by 9. And our answer is, let's see, $14.30 divided by 9 is, all right, I'll just write over here, 1.58. I'll just put thousands, 8. Can't really leave that as our answer though, because it says how much did each tulip cost. So we need dollars and cents. So this means we need to round to the nearest hundredth. Remember, this is tenths. This is hundredths. So we need 2 decimal places because that's what money is. This one here, by the way, is thousandths. So we have to look at the thousandths place. And if this digit is 5 or more, what we have to do is add 1 here. So instead of an 8, it becomes a 9. So our answer is $1.59 for each tulip. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to pause, rewind, ask me questions if you have, and catch you on the next one.